Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, we are continuing our conversation about faction wars, and today's faction is Lizardmen. So, as always, we'll go through the index, just checking which champs we can use for the faction, and then we'll see the recording of the budget team, and finally, we'll check the champ builds. Okay, so recording is on. Let's go through the faction. So, Lizardmen used to be one of the tougher factions because even you can see the number of champs, it doesn't have as many as some of the others, but they released a few epics that made it easy and Legos as well. So we'll go through the index and figure out like who are the good ones to use. Dracomorph, one of the best damage dealers for Clan Boss, was nerfed because he was too powerful. But yeah, amazing placement of decreased defense and weaken on same move. Lots of poisons, very hard hitting A1. Accuracy aura and faction crypts if you need it. So one of the good champs, Roxam, good debuffer damage dealer there. Basartha is from Doom Tower Hard, so no, you won't have him when you're beating faction wars. Fushan, very strong damage dealer and CC because of that stun. So yeah, if you have Fushan, you'll use him. Razen, so we have two champs actually in this faction that make it a bit easier. Razen is a permanent fusion. So of course I've used my Razen ages ago, but you'll see him here in the permanent fusion section. So fuse Razen, he's worth it. Fuse the epics and Frozen himself during a champ chase. You'll get loads of points on it. And fuse Broadmo is the second permanent fusion that we have in game. These two champs will make your job a bit easier. Razen is great. He got turn meter control, decreased defense and weaken, and he hits hard. He's defense based, very tanky, so good to use here. Vargal, we got him in a recent video. He's got very high HP. Well, he's defense based, but he got very high HP. Anyways, he can do damage, he can provoke, so yeah. Not my first go-to option, but let me show you this. There was an old trick for Lizardmen, is that revives Skull Crown with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Usually what they did is that Skull Crown, if we go all the way down, Skull Crown is farmable from campaign. So if you build your Vargal tanky and have half decent Skull Crown, even have 4 of them around, because it's one turn cooldown, he can keep reviving the Skull Crowns, or you can even use one as a filler. But yeah, you won't need that. Python, probably you've been playing. If you're trying to beat faction wars now, you've been playing with Python Fusion was on. It's one of the fusions I told you you must do. So he's the best support. If you have Python, your faction war trip is easy. Provokes, decrease defense. Well, Vargamkar is not the best, but he's tanky, so yeah, if you want. Nekmuthar, one of the best controllers in the game. Decrease speed on the enemy, increase speed on you. If you have him, probably you have him built for Hydra, so yeah, use him. He's a good option there. Krisk, one of the best voice Legos in game. If you have Krisk, you use him. Ramantu, you won't have Ramantu. Shagor, Poison Machine. Yeah, he just puts sleep with that weird passive. Again, if you have him, probably you have him maxed and you'd use him. Okay, let's talk about the epics now. Jarang is not the one. Jarang hits hard, but you can use him as 50 if you have to. But yeah, probably you won't. I think, is he the one with the revive passive? No. Is it? No? Anyway, okay. Forget about Jarang. Jarag, one of the best epics in the game. I really love him. HP, aura in all battles. This passive puts continuous heal on himself or any ally when they drop below a certain thing. Ally protect and increase defense, decrease attack on A1. I'm using Jarag for my Eternal Dragon team in Doom Tower Heart. He's very useful in Clan Boss too, so probably it's not a bad idea to build Jarag. Venomage, one of the best debuffers in game. Here reduction, poisons, decrease attack, decrease defense. Yeah, activates poison, so loads of damage there. The preferred build for Venomage is in Regen because she causes damage because of her poison activation and applies those great debuffs. So yeah, I'll show you my Venomage. Basilisk is the one I was thinking of. So what's so cool about Basilisk that made me use him when I was beating Lizardmen Faction War? He've got a 6 turn cooldown, but still some sort of a weak souls revive. But what's important is this: build him fast in a stun set. He has an AoE A1. He can be your control for faction wars. And you will have a guaranteed reviver, which is Broadmo. Broadmo got a 4 turn cooldown, two-man revive here with increased crit rate, increased speed. So just build your Broadmo tanky in regen gear or immortal or whatever. He will be your reviver for the faction. AOX, a good debuffer here, extending the buffs. So yeah, if you're using him elsewhere, he's not bad. I don't like this guy. Defense based. Actually, he got a good chance of stuns. You can use him as 50. Z. Well, yeah. No, I don't like her. Drake, so I actually used Drake. I maxed a Drake because of two things. First of all, is that this A1 hits hard. His think he got I think he got very high multipliers. So how I use Drake and how I'm using him in the Epic Lizardman Doom Tower Hard Room, go check that older video. Much worse recording, but still the information is valid. If he kills someone with the A1, he gets an extra turn. So my strategy was get everyone down on health from the enemy team. Then Drake, in 1 turn, can just snipe them all using A1s. So yeah, Jizo, tanky. Everybody will have Jizo. You can build him tanky and regen or whatever. He can help you. At level 50, he's not worth 60ing. Quaragon, yeah, can be used. I've never used him, but yeah. I think that Delaja is HP based. You see, she's a bit tanky. And she does hit hard, if I remember correctly. So this will work perfectly in Faction Wars, this passive, so she can be one of your damage dealers. Broadmoor, we already talked about him. And Scathix is also great because removes all the buffs from all allies. So he got that cleanse, shield, and block debuffs. I did use Scathix as 50. Basically, those two will be your support, but he's avoid epic, so you might not have him. If not, then the thing is you'll have Broadmo as your only support, unless of course you have Python. If you have Python, you don't need to use Broadmo. Anyone worth mentioning in the rares? No, not specifically. We already talked about Skull Crown. Some people build Soros for like a quick campaign farmer. He's not worth it. Yeah, the stats are not that good. But anyways, that's the index. Now let's go check the recording and see what's happening there. As always, we are checking stage 19 and 20 for any special waves. The two Valks is not that special. They can be controlled. Of course, here I'm using Ramantu. I will switch to budget team. Oh, here, stage 20, the nasty Cesalia wave. How can you handle this? And how I handled it when I was beating it. Jarang, was it Jarang or what? I keep missing it. Let's go back just to check. I want to make sure. Basilisk. I was using Basilisk as 50 to keep them stunned. Of course, here with Ramantu, it's too easy. So now I'm switching my budget team. Jareg, great support. Python, I'm keeping Python in. I removed them, okay, because I thought that everyone got him from the fusion. But this team is sort of budget. Let's see how it plays out because rather than Broadmo, Everyone will have them. Jarag is a non-void. Jarag and Venomage. Well, actually, the other three are non-void epics, so you might have them there unless you're having. So here I'm not controlling them at all. What I'm doing here, I'm just hitting them hard, one by one, and Broadmo got a freeze skill, but yeah. So this team is heavy on damage, so of course they got the job done fast. But yeah, so nothing to talk about here. Let's now go through 21, and I'll show you the builds after we go through the run. So nothing special about wave 1, just damage, keeps the team healthy. A1 when you're close to beating the wave to keep your skills for wave 2. I didn't need to do that here. Here, wave 2, we got a Paragon in the middle. You see, I'm clicking on him. Kill him first so he won't keep putting unkillable on himself. Though, if you have some accuracy on Razen, and you should, he can remove buffs using his A1. So, Paragon won't be an issue there. So you see here, I'm not having any issues with this, with the damage and everything. Let's see. Now we'll get to the boss. Let's see what kind of boss it is. So, okay. This is the boss with the nasty A1. So this A1 can take down someone. So it's a good idea, even if you have Python in the team. If you have Python and Broadmo, put them both in, because in case that hit takes down one of them, the other can revive him. If not, you'll just need to do a couple of retries to make sure this skill won't hit the wrong one. And this boss is also heavy on debuffing fears. So the thing is, if you have Python at 200 resistance or more, and of course tanky enough, then he will cleanse the team and he will revive the team, so you won't have any issues there. I didn't use Kha'Zix here, but Kha'Zix is a cleanser. So if you're using Kha'Zix for this, make sure he got 200 resistance so he can help with that. Of course, with the builds I have, this team is heavy on damage, as I was saying. I didn't face any issues there. You see, Drake and Jareg are down. Broadmo just revived them. And we can do the same again. Did I even get 3 stars? Looks like I'm taking it reckless free here. But maybe I'll get back to the revive. You see, the stuns and fears here are really affecting me. But a cleanser like Kha'Zix with 200 resistance should be help me with that. Thing is, if you see also Razen hits very hard. My Razen is in life steal, so that self-sustainability. My Venomage is in regen, she's self-sustaining. So I just need to keep the other two alive, the weaker two. Looks like I might be able to take him down before he takes a turn. And yeah, that's Drake's A2. You see how hard that hits. Let's see the damage here. So you see, Razen and Venomage did the majority of my damage, but Drake is also helping there. Okay. We're back into the game. Let's see who we need to get out of the vault to check the builds there. So this is my Razen. He's in life steal, as I was saying. Leftover gear. 190 speed is okay. You see, I gave him 100% crit and a bit of crit damage because he does hit hard. He's defense based. Try to get him to 4k defense. He will really hit hard and protect himself. Over 220 accuracy. And then, yeah, just give him some HP. So that's Razen. If we go down, Broadmo, like I said, just he's a leftover gear, didn't even have a ring. He should be in 6 pieces immortal or regen and immortal if he's your only support. 60k HP, it's doable. Try to get him to 3k defense, 2 is a bit low. Try to get him fast to get back to his revive, and 200 resistance to protect him from those fears and stuns. That's how you want your Broadmo. Venomage, my Venomage is in regen and immortal for some of the solo stuff. 200 speed, 40 50k HP is good and 3k defense. This might be a bit high. So if it's only for faction wars, she doesn't need to be in regen. If you have solid supports, Cathix and Broadmo or Pythion and Broadmo or so on, 35k HP, 2k defense is enough. And she doesn't do damage based on her crit rate, on attack, I mean. So just give her, and this resistance is also for the solo builds, forget about it. Just 220 accuracy, 200 speed, 35k HP, 2k defense is okay for her. If it's in Regen Mortal, that's good. That's my Eternal Dragon Last Boss Jarek build, so it's a bit of an overkill for this. Stalwart, great for him. You need to give Jarag HP because he's soaking damage with the Ally Protect. Otherwise, he'll fall and Broadmo or Python will need to pick him up. So 50k HP at least. Try to give him 3k defense, but I couldn't get it with the other stats. He doesn't need that high speed. 180, 190 is good enough. Give him accuracy 220, he doesn't need resistance. 220 is good for him because that decreased attack is really useful in mitigating those hard hits. So we checked Venomage, Jarag, Broadmo, and Drazen. Who do we have left? Drake. Drake will be in my vault. Let's get him out. And like I said, I maxed Drake for this and for the Epic Lizardmen room, so I can get my Ramantu. And by chance, I got a 3-star ascension for him. I didn't even give it to him because I'm not using him anywhere. Random gear. Important thing is that 100% crit rate. Give him attack and give him crit damage. 100% crit rate and crit damage because he's there just for damage. 30k HP, 2k defense, that's okay. So these are very reasonable stats. If you get your Drake in random gear or whatever to those stats, he will hit hard and help you with the damage there. So that was the team. That was Lizardman Faction War. We have only one left, which is Ogren Tribe, if I'm not mistaken. I recorded and released it in a couple of days to give you a chance to have like 3-4 weeks of trying this before they release Sylvan Watchers. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.